I'm going to try to address the camera and I'm going to fucking blow it again. I can't do it. All right. This is episode 2. My eyes are already dodging. This is episode 223. It didn't look like anybody died.
Coming to you from inside the Big Muff. It's the tone control.
Cheers, mate. All right. No, fired.
Who's this character?
Who's this chap? Hey, you know what I noticed? And I mean, just now, I'm thinking back to when that song was recorded, all of Dave's cymbals were cracked. And if you listen to that, song, the cymbal ring is so short, it's done. That's like a 16-inch crash, so it's done.
Dave, so far, remains to be the drummer I know who hit the drums the hardest.
Yeah.
He
punished him.
He beat the living shit out of him.
He was like, you're not coming back from this.
I've never seen anyone hit a snare drum that hard. But maybe that's got something to do with it.
It could be.
Yeah.
I hear it's an art to draw the crash out of a cymbal without physically damaging it. I don't know. I'm not a
just
drummer.
sending it into the shadow realm.
Yeah. So how's it going?
It's going, man. It's going good. I was almost a little bit late tonight.
Yeah,
and it's just because I was chilling out, hanging out with baby. No other reason. We were just on the couch doing stuff, and it was 4 minutes to go time, and I was like, I should probably get started with this.
I was a little bit similar. I was ready 45 minutes early, and then I was like, well, shoot, I've got 45 minutes. So I started futzing about with something on my phone, right? And then it's 5 of, oh shit. Well, I soaked up all that time.
Yep.
Damn.
I've been getting ready for the podcast immediately after work because I'm right in here and I'm I'll just hook up all my stuff, get the session open, and then just leave it. And I'll come back and it saves me a bunch of time later because then I come up after dinner and try to hook everything up, and it's I'm too close to start time, and then I I hit record, and I'm all totally flapped,
Yeah.
I like to come in unflapped.
As little flap as possible.
Yeah,
I get that.
Because I'm flappable, I'm not unflappable, so I want to be unflapped.
Yeah, you know it's possible. You don't want it to happen, and so you take the steps. You take the steps.
And doing so allows me to do things like create a Helix patch to share with our listeners. So I have one tonight.
All right, sweet. Helix patch.
My computer does not like the word unflapped, so I just had to go and correct it because that's now a title for this week, possibly. So anyway.
Yeah, you never know.
So Justin.
Yeah.
You sent a message earlier today.
Oh, yeah.
Just not that long ago, actually, that said, hey there, friends and fairies. It's been a weird day waiting for bad news.
Excuse me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Fiends and fairies. I misread. Been a weird day waiting for bad news, but good news came instead.
Yeah.
I need you to elaborate on that.
Okay, so I've been sort of going through the motions a little bit in the past several days. Was it a bad news bear? Nope. There weren't any bears. No, a while back, this is a few weeks ago now, my mom had a medical thing. She had some kind of abdominal pain. She's had things have happened to her in her life, and she was she felt this pretty painful thing, didn't know what it was, and it's this is the appendix crap. It's she's had things go on, even recently, and it was fuck. So she goes in. They figure out that it's this fairly benign thing. It's an infection of the intra-organal tissue, right? It's this infection that's not in an organ. Okay. And it's just antibiotics. It's like an easy little thing, right? Okay, but it was like really painful. But in figuring this out, they kind of do some scans, right? And they're doing scans. Well, they find what they think are lesions in her kidney. Okay, so we were going for more scans and further analysis, and the scan was going to happen today, and then several hours later, she had an appointment with the doctor to interpret it, right? And this could be kidney cancer, right? So that's really what we think, right? We're just like, okay, well, that's what lesions are. So she, anyway, so we've sort of had it in the back of your mind. Today, they do the thing, and we get this text message that's like, they put your stuff on, they put your results online. You can look at your chart. Yeah. And it says this stuff that makes it seem like, okay, it's a tumor, and there are two of them, and one of them's this big and the other one's pretty small. And then we're sitting there for a few hours while she waits to meet with the doctor. So she goes to meet with the doctor, and I'm like picking up Ari from school. We've had sort of all day to just ponder this. But anyway, so what the doctor says is it's not that. It's like a typical cyst thing that I guess can happen to if a lot of people have them in their kidneys at this age, and it's fine. And the doctor was like, I'm so sorry. I kept thinking maybe I should call her. Oh, I'm going to see her in a few hours. I was just clear it up. We're in person. She'll have questions. I shouldn't leave a message. And she's going back and forth. What should I do? What should I do?
And you're having a panicky few hours.
Yeah. I don't know, not panicky. It was like the same thing with my dad, right? The scan for another reason finds this thing. And it's like, well, maybe, you look up what this is, by the way, and it had a between 70 and 97% survival rate. If it was the bad thing, right? So it was we were like,
still nerve-wracking though.
Right, exactly. So then I'm driving, I'm expecting a call. We're all going to conference. I might be in the car, you know what I mean? Sure. And instead I get this text and I read at a stoplight, oh, it's nothing. The doctor apologized. I'm like, whoo. And then Ari's in the back seat. I explained to her, so, here's what's been going on, but hey, feeling good. They left for vacation. They were going on vacation today. So they did the thing, saw the doctor, was already packed to go on vacation. Because whatever it is, it's sweet. Well, you're still going on vacation. So anyway, they're going on a trip. We're good.
Wicked.
Everybody's feeling good. We get,
Victory bell.
Yeah. So I don't know. I hadn't been around as far as Discord is concerned for a little bit, because it's sort of one of those I don't really know how I feel right now sort of situations. Yeah, that's all.
Totally.
That's all it was. And it's fine. So that's where I am. And now we're here.
Well, shit. Yeah. And now we're here on a lovely Monday night in September.
That's right.
And well, good. I'm glad it was nothing serious.
Right. So that's the good news.
Nerve-wracking.
The bad news that was coming did not come. So it's all good. Yeah.
Shit. I like that.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Fantastic.
Shit, dog. What's going on here? I have a baby still.
Excellent. Also an excellent outcome. That's the one you want.
And he's doing all the baby things. I'm not going to talk about my baby every time. I don't want to be one of those people that's when you're friends with me on social media, suddenly you're friends with my baby. I don't want to be that person.
There's an inverse square law though to how much you talk about your baby, right? It's gonna trickle down. You're allowed to. You're still in the we're very close to the source of babies, so the intensity is high. And every year or so, it's gonna half or something.
Right. Yeah. And it'll never. It's like approaching the speed of light, but inverted.
It's a parabola.
You can never quite reach it.
You never quite get to zero.
So he's 8 weeks and he's doing great.
Yeah.
He's making all kinds of other noises now. He's starting to coo, starting to smile. Okay. It's great.
Cool. Yeah, I think we saw a smile on our last call there.
Yeah, he's getting pretty good at it. So you can tell he's trying out. He's in the brain. They're pushing buttons in there. And it's is it this button combo? And he'll stick his tongue out.
It does. It does feel doesn't it look like that too? That there's a bunch of unlabeled buttons, and they're just well, I guess I better figure some of this out.
Or it's trying to remember the cheat codes on the controller. Is it this button combination? No, that's the tongue. No, that's the eyebrows.
Isn't it a
And then
relief
he'll
to,
get it every now and then.
Right.
Like they just button mashed in there and like had a successful hit. You know?
all of a sudden, the perfect KO happened, and they're like, "Well, I gotta remember that." Well, right, and they're the ones that get a response from you too, right? Because that's the other thing is like you're able to make basically one sound and one face, and it's upset. Because what's the most important? If you can only make one face, what is it? It's upset. That's the most important. And then it's like, well, actually, we could add some nuance here. Now I can do upset and happy.
Yeah.
And when
We're moving into a binary world, folks.
When I do that, the faces I see react. I'll do that again.
Yeah, hold on. Let me run a little experiment here.
Let's do this crap again.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
that's cool. It's good. I feel like there was something else I was going to tell you, but I don't remember what it was. So I guess it wasn't actually a thing.
Yeah, it might have been. You know how brains
Maybe I'll
are.
remember. Leaky.
Pesky brains. Oh, guys. Well, what have we got today? I'll tell you, I got to be honest with you up front. I'm going to push this button and then I'm going to tell you some sad, sad news. Oh, that's not the one. No. Pull it back. Hold on. This one.
Thanks to Pedal Genie for sponsoring the tone control. Visit pedalgenie.com and start your wish list today.
All right. The sad news
That was very funny.
It was good. The sad news is neither of us have a Pedal Genie pedal.
Yeah. I dragged my feet
That's
on
all.
sending mine back again.
That big a deal, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I did.
Even-
I think maybe I wonder if I should
Oh,
log
it was
in and
Labor Day.
Oh yeah, okay. So we had some mail delays, probably on both ends. I wonder if I should log in and make sure my wish list isn't empty. Happens every couple of years.
Yeah, that happened to me pretty recently. So I don't even know what they're sending me next. I'll probably get that email tomorrow, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. Shall we?
There's some things. Yeah. So let's see. First up, we've got some more homegrown news. Let's see. I don't think I used any of my sounds that I'd prepped for last episode.
I don't think you did either.
Yeah. It made it a little stupid when I was editing.
So actually, before we get into it.
Oh, okay.
Do you listen to our episodes? Like, I know you edit them, but do you listen as a listener ever?
Not really anymore. Why?
Yeah.
Are they
I was just
awful?
curious. I don't really anymore either. I haven't for a long time, but I was just like going from here to the grocery store or something like that. And it's like, the episode's on my phone. Let's check it out. And like, let me just reflect and see, because my only experience with the podcast is right now as I record it. So
totally different experience.
Very, very different. And I think we're pretty good.
Well, I will say
it's a fun thing to do every now and then. You know?
Yeah, go back and reflect. I will say since I edit other podcasts, like in a professional capacity, I do get to hear people, and it runs a spectrum. Like most of my clients right now have been with me for a long time, and by virtue of that, they've been podcasting a long time. So they're all like in the zone, right? But now and then there's a guest host, or there's a new show that comes on or something like that. And I can hear that difference, right? There's not everybody is podcast ready or used to it. It's something about the way it feels, right? So like that thing of being natural on the microphone or whatever, it just takes a lot of time probably.
It just takes time. And I think it depends on the kind of podcast you are, whereas ours is more just two guys talking and not very rehearsed, or, it's not scripted.
All rehearsed.
Yeah.
Almost anti-rehearsed.
The other type of podcast in my mind is like the heavily scripted and like produced kind of thing.
Right.
So very just two different sides of the same podcast coin.
I do some of those too. And those I get, 6 deliveries of the same line. Picking
Let me take that
them.
again.
Hold on. Let's do it again. Let's rotate the inflection a little bit here and try to get a little more excitement. Oh, less red, more conversational. Okay, here he goes. Oh man, that's fine.
I also, when I listen through, which is not never, but I check it out every now and then. I often remember how much I hate a lot of my vocal tics or inflections or things that I do. And I think to myself, I got to make a note to stop doing that. And it happens every time. So
you mean you make a note every time, or you don't take the note every time?
Oh, both.
Yeah. Of course.
Both, I guess. Yeah. I think part of it is maybe due to just the nature of internet call, that inherent latency a little bit, that I need to like pad what I have said, and I end up talking over you all the time. I don't mean to.
Did you hear there's a 20,000 Hertz episode about that, isn't there? Or is it a different show?
Oh, is there?
I think.
I don't know.
Okay. It might be that show, maybe, but I heard some analysis of that. I figured it might be them because it would be right up their alley, right? But it's all about how much our brains are tuned to the exact pace of conversation, and how even though like Zoom and stuff is pretty good, the fraction third of a second extra delay is enough that we've had to redo our whole idea of like the politeness, like what actually is proper to wait, like and stuff like that.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of like the mishearing, or the call cuts out for a second, and that sort of stuff. But I don't know. I'm trying, guys. I know I'm annoying sometimes. I'm trying. Anyway, let's do a show.
I don't think so. No, I haven't listened to this show as a listener like since we switched to including video, actually, because I used to edit through the whole show, and when we switched to video, part of it was like, well, we're doing this whole switch. For one thing, I'm actually reducing my post-production time. I am just jumping in and finding the little points where the music are. Basically the sounds exists in my, well, it's part of the show, but I mean, it's I can find that chapter break point, and that's more or less what I do. I line everything up, chapter break point, I do the ends. But since then, I haven't listened to an episode of the Tone Control.
I used to listen a lot as I published it, which used to take a long time because it was singularly sent to a bunch of different places. And now it's just a single go button. And you and I are publishing differently as well. So like our workflow together is different, but it takes 2 seconds now. So I don't have to, I don't even get through the first 5 minutes by the time I just save,
it's over.
Scheduled post. So anyway.
Well, at least you'll catch it if I send one out blank for some reason.
Which has happened.
Yeah, it's not something I made up just now. All right, let's play something. Here's something. Well, that was pretty messed up. I guess you must know what that one is.
It's the Maris Enzo.
It is.
Yeah. What a fun pedal. I had that, and it's a synth pedal for guitar, and it has a blend on it, I think, but I took all the guitar out because why would you have?
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. So, and I started making those sounds, and I'm like, I'm going to make a video game soundtrack or like a kids cartoon intro music thing. And that's where we landed. That was really fun.
15 seconds of joy.
I'm gonna jot that down.
Uh-oh.
So anyway, I got another new guitar, guys.
Yeah, Derek got another guitar, like right after getting the other one.
Right after, and I am super aware of the optics of that.
You didn't wait for a single podcast episode to marinate.
I did not. But it was like, there was 2 weeks in between. And also, the Nova was like already paid for.
The Nova was over a year old past purchase time.
So. Yeah. And it's here. It's on the wall. I got, as talked about in episode 207, the new Squier Custom Telecaster Baritone. And it's very large. So I'm sure to the viewer, this just looks like a regular Telecaster, because it by and large is.
It just looks like I got the aspect ratio wrong when I published the video.
Yeah, so it's a long guitar. It's a big boy. It is a 27-inch scale instead of Fender's usual 25.5. So 27, it's tuned B to B, and I'm going to put some new strings on it soonish. And these are 14 to 64s.
Okay. That feels like it's in the zone, though.
Yeah, just for reference, my other guitar string of choice is 10 to 48. So
that's for a regular scale length. Yeah.
Yes. I got it on a Labor Day sale. I'll just be totally upfront. I paid $300 for this, and I would do it again tomorrow. It is
good Lord,
guys.
I got that on.
You get so much guitar for $300 these days. Like if guitars were this good at that price when I was starting to play.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
It's got to be like, because I mean, the issue is like, there's nothing handmade about a Squier.
No.
right? But like the possibilities within, actual like efficient machine production,
Yeah.
factory production,
Tolerances are better.
Yeah, everything. And just being able to, like, I mean, for one thing, it got cheaper for them to do it this way. So they upgraded all their machinery. And of course the guitars aren't going to get worse for that. Well,
No.
shoot. I mean, they could have, I guess, but they didn't, because that, that
Yeah,
wouldn't be a
and,
good
like,
upgrade.
It's got El Nico pickups in it.
Okay.
That's not nothing.
No.
Those are good. That's good. And like, of course, it's an affordable guitar, and you can notice it. So the fret edges are kind of rough, right? There's some glue squeeze out in a few spots. The
sort of
tuners
stuff
aren't
that would
great.
never have passed if somebody laid their hands on it, but that's
Correct.
yeah.
But also, $300. Do you care?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I mean, no.
Yeah, but yeah. So I love it. It's a lot of fun. And the thing is, like, Squires have gotten so much better from when I was a kid. So it's just a regular telly layout. It's got 2 Alnico pickups, regular telly pickups, 3-way switch, volume and tone, 27-inch scale. And the woods are a little bit different. So it's got like an Indian laurel fingerboard and a maple neck. And the body is something I cannot remember, but it's not ash or alder. It's just some other like affordable wood. But it's got a cool 3-tone sunburst. It looks great. It feels great. It's double bound. Like, what the shit is this?
What a nice touch.
Yeah.
That always looks so fucking great on a guitar with a dark edge too. Like, cause the whole guitar isn't even dark. They're really, Damn.
Yeah. And,
imagine. I know this is like your whole fucking point, but like, imagine if you're like 17 and this is there.
Not even, dude.
This is there for $300 instead of the used $300 guitar that you could maybe find and is pretty beat up.
Yeah. Yeah. And okay, so some things about it. It's a baritone. So here's what it sounds like. I made a Helix patch, this is the one I'm going to share out. Y'all hear that, right?
I hear it so bad.
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. It's awesome.
It's moody.
Love it. Really cool. Because it's tuned B to B, if you were to go drop D style, right, you lower the 6th string by a whole step, you're down in drop A.
Yeah.
So
you're in corn land now.
You're wicked low. It's really fun. It's really, really fun. I'll be honest, it's a bit of a dog to play this thing. So like
So is it the reach or is it the string tension?
It's not the reach. It's the
because that's what I always figured. I figured
maybe
it would be
not the
reach.
tension. The reach is bigger, but only by a little bit.
Okay.
Which means your lower frets are further apart.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like
there's that, or all your frets are further apart. It's the size of the strings, really, for me.
Okay.
And just some other stuff that may be because it's an affordable Squire. So, little stuff. That was just those the fret edges.
Yeah, the gnarly knife
pokey
wounds that are all in your hand now that you're just tolerating because for $300 you'll get cut.
Yeah. But it sounds good.
Yeah.
Plays pretty good, and it's
you can
the way
dress
I was
those
looking at
too.
it.
You can dress frets. I mean,
oh yeah, like I did a quick setup on it, and it's miles ahead of where it was when it showed up. And
I would say don't buy that guitar with a finished neck or fretboard is what I mean. Like don't buy it with a maple.
I don't think you can.
Yeah,
I don't think you can. The tuners are pretty lame, to be honest.
And the reason, by the way, is because if you were to sand glue and frets and stuff like that, you'd have to refinish the maple after that. So that's why you go with like an open grain wood.
Yeah. I do need to, when I change the strings, I'm going to oil it because it is thirsty. It's very dry.
Yeah, and you'll want to do that for like 2 or 3 times a year for a while, probably.
Matt got a different, so this sale was going on. This guitar is usually $499. I got it for $299. And I sent it out in Discord, and Matt here says he was also on the hunt and got a different baritone. It sounds like got the classic vibe, paranormal Cabernita version, also very cool. I think that has P90s. This is far more just regular. Yeah, totally. I think that might be last year's, not model, last year's like product introduction, and this was new for 2022.
New for 2022, the regular.
The old. So it is kind of based on like on 60s style custom Telecasters, not Telecaster custom. So I bet a new nut would do wonders on this thing. New tuners for sure. Okay. New saddles, that kind of stuff. But again, the way I was looking at it was...
If you do all the little bits...
Yeah.
You're basically, you're still probably around regular buy price for that guitar, right? $499, you said?
$499, yeah.
With the sale you got, I bet you could keep it under $499 and do like the pots, dress the frets up, put a new nut on it. Tuners, I mean, probably you could do better tuners. I mean, do they bother you? No. I bet if you put something nice on there, you'd be like, oh man. It's tough with tuners, right? Because it's not like the most sexy thing, but it really, on a lot of guitars, it makes a difference. Way. Yeah.
It's not that it goes out of tune. It's just that they're janky. Like they're hard to turn. The ratio is not great. They're inconsistent around the rotation, stuff like that. So I'm thinking about new pickups. I do kind of want to put a black pickguard on it because I think that would look good with the sunburst. Just my vibe. I have discovered, as can be witnessed by my Nova back here, I think a black pickguard is almost always a better choice.
Okay, suggestion. I don't know if this exists, but
are you going to say tortoiseshell? Because my
tortoiseshell's fine. You're fine. You already got that look. You don't need to copy the bass with the baritone, right? That would be a little.
It'd be weird.
It'd be a little much. No. I think if you're going to go black, the baritone guitar to me is even more cowboy than cowboy. So I think it should have like a paisley embossed on the black, right? So black, but the reflection has a paisley.
Oh, so it's not like it's just textured paisley.
Right. You can see it in the shine.
Maybe, but I also really enjoy playing Fire Breather from Thrice on this thing, and that's not very cowboy.
I don't know, man. I can imagine that song, but with cowboy hats. You can picture it, can't you?
Challenge accepted. Yeah, I can.
I don't know. It's disco ball pickguard, actual LEDs, like actual RGB in the guitar. Yeah.
So here's my Helix patch. We're using, I don't have it open. One moment, please. Let me pull up HX Edit. But it has such a different register, of course. And like the strings have like a kind of piano-like sustain and like character to them.
It's the mass, man.
It's the mass, and like the harmonic structure is very different. Yeah. Sustains fucking forever because it's so big.
Yeah.
So this is the Line 6 Litigator.
What does that
That's
mean?
The name of is it a Dumble? I don't know. I can't remember. Matt, correct me.
Litigator. It's a Line 6 Metallica.
So anyway, I added a big reverb.
Litigator is a Line 6 original.
Yeah. I added this cool delay. With some chorusing, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're doing the baritone, you got to go with some trem. So I got that happening. It's set to a quarter note triplet.
Oh.
Isn't that nice?
What a fun pulse.
And then for drives, I have the Ram's Head Big Muff. Does Discord hate this?
It's swallowing a lot of it, but I get the gist.
I got a EP booster. and a Timmy. So anyway, Eric's here. Hey, Eric. It is so fun, and we can kind of
sincerely didn't know who it was. Nothing. This is behind the scene. This is fourth wall shit right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, get a baritone. Like you've been on those email newsletters, or you've seen those like guitar magazine headlines that are like, "Why every guitarist should have a baritone." They're not wrong. You should probably get one, especially if you can grab one for $300.
Nice.
I got to write something down before I forget.
You sure it hasn't already been written down for you?
We're going to scroll past it. And anyway. So anyway, this line 6 thing, the Helix preset I made with the baritone. So I don't know how it'll sound with other guitars, but it'll be up in our Discord server for y'all to grab probably tomorrow.
All right.
Listen to this, man. Crazy. Love it.
Yeah, it's an undeniable thing.
It's such a vibe. It is such a vibe.
It's funny how long I kind of slept on this whole idea, actually.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like I knew of baritones from way back. From I don't know. There were some bands that when I was like doing my internships and stuff in college, there were some bands who were all into their baritone guitars, and it's like, oh yeah, and then I just sort of forgot about it all. So
yeah, well, it's not something you hear about too often.
Yeah,
and if you think of things like woodwinds, right? There's baritones and bass registers of a lot of those instruments. Yeah. So like for guitar, it's just not common, but they exist. Plays exactly like a regular guitar, and I don't know, but it's not a bass 6, and it's not a bass.
Yeah,
it's this weird in between thing, and it can fit with other guitars really well.
Yeah.
And before we move on, I meant to say this 100 times and change the subject too many times. Part of the reason I got this baritone was because baritone guitar is not my main instrument, right? Guitar is my main instrument.
Right.
So I don't need a perfect specimen, right? I don't need some like super awesome hand-built thing, because this is not replacing, I'm not going to become a baritone only guitarist. So I don't need the greatest thing. And I had money left over from saving up for the Novo. And I was like, fuck it, why not? Here's this killer sale.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of be crazy not to. And I'm so glad I got it. It's
cool.
A lot of fun.
That's really fun.
So the demo I did last week for Pedal Genie, should we jump right into that?
Sure. Do you want to make this the Pedal Genie break?
Yeah, why not?
We'll talk about their ad. Sure.
Yeah, and so there's baritone in this mix, and I don't remember how many other guitars, just one or two, I guess, the baritone
just
and bass.
A pair. There was an intro track, which ends up as kind of a separate thing because it's a totally different tone. But yeah. And then there's sort of a baritone fill, I guess I'd call it, right? Because it's not really a double. You're using different notes, but it's
it's like a baritone follow, but it's an octave down. So,
right, like I mean, different notes, not by the letter, but I mean, there are different notes. It's an octave.
Yeah.
It's a baritone like octave double.
Like it's not in unison. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the Starlight from Crazy Tube Circuits, which is
the Starlight
fuzz distortion thing that I had a lot of fun with.
Well, wait, are we doing Pedal Genie now, or are we not doing? Because we don't have pedals, so. Here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to do the Pedal Genie ad, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the Starlight. And that means that the gifts for tonight. Did I step on anything, by the way? Had one been picked?
No, we all agreed that yours was a good choice.
Okay. The gifts for tonight are fireworks fails, and I wish you good luck.
Pedal Genie is like the Netflix of guitar pedals. Rent any pedal you want for as long as you want, for one low monthly price. Shipping is included and there are no late fees or time limits. With over 1,500 pedals to try from nearly 100 different manufacturers, Pedal Genie definitely has the gear you want to try. Subscriptions start with Flex at just $22 a month. Try out one pedal at a time for as long as you want. Send it back when you're ready for the next one. For only $47 a month, the standard subscription includes shipping, so you could have a different pedal every few days. If one isn't enough for you, Pedal Genie Pro gets you 3 pedals at a time for only $77 a month. Shipping included. There's a subscription for everyone, and best of all, your first month is free. If you find the pedal of your dreams, the one you just have to keep, Pedal Genie will offer you a buyout option. Prices vary with the length of your membership and the type of pedal, but you'll definitely get an awesome price for the pedal in your hand. So head to pedalgenie.com to fill up your wishlist with pedals, and they'll send out your first pedal ASAP. Pedal Genie. All your pedal wishes granted.
Oh no, the poor dog.
Well, it's running around with it in its mouth.
Yeah. What a stupid asshole.
Well done. Nice. That was a
Oh,
very
my God.
specific gift request, and it was great.
It was on my mind, because I just the 4th of July wasn't that long ago from my perspective, because I guess I'm old and time dilation has really sunk in with me. But
I mean, it's September 12th, but sure.
it seems like only yesterday that I saw just a horrible video from somebody's doorbell cam, on the 4th of July, this 2022, and this family sitting out in the yard, in the front yard. There's a minivan parked there. There's like 6 lawn chairs, and they've got a pile of stuff, and they're just doing their rockets. Somebody sticks the thing in, and I don't know, they did something wrong, and it's like bottle rockets, but they don't fly up. It's just kind of going off on the ground. And the dad starts yelling like, "You forgot to blah, blah, blah. Why do I have to keep telling you?" It's a disciplinary moment. And then, of course, it tips over and like basically shoots the kid. And the kid's flipping out and they're all like, "Oh," now they're really yelling. And then, of course, it rolls just a little bit. And the next one goes right into the pile of remaining fireworks and basically ignites the car. And they just clear the area. It didn't look like anybody died. But I don't know. That car's going to have some damage. Good Lord. Okay. Anyway, it was on my mind. I don't know why that seems like yesterday to me. I was in a haze this week. I told you that.
You get a pass.
Also,
You're good.
have I mentioned I'm so old? Okay.
No, let me ask
you this. I can tell. I'm not getting away with it.
My baby is newer than 4th of July. Does that feel the same?
Fuck.
Just saying.
No, your baby's better than the 4th of July.
That's not what I'm asking. I mean, it's what I'm kind of asking.
All right.
Anyway.
So we don't have Pedal Genie pedals this week because of probably the holiday.
Not 4th of July.
Okay. All right. So, but Derek did a YouTube demo live stream business, and the mix is in, nerds. It is the Starlight from CTC. What is CTC?
Crazy Tube Circuits.
That's a terrible name. Or is it great? Let's find out.
I don't know. They make good pedals, so.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. The drums on this mix, by the way, had no chance unless they were absolutely compressed to death. It sounds cool, right? But it's like, whack.
The bass was really fun on that. Mm-hmm. It sounded huge.
Now, when you usually send me a bass, are you usually using the pedal on the bass as well? Unless it's like, makes no sense, I guess?
Depends on what it is. Yeah. Okay. For drives, almost always.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Bass sounds
especially
great
one like
with drives.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff like if it's like a phaser or something, no. I like the demos more when they have bass. They're just a little more put together. So
yeah, right on. Did we put that pedal on the actual screen at any point?
No. Where's my phone? Whatever. Just pull
Where's
it up.
your phone? I'm gonna pull it up.
I was gonna post a pic in Discord, but
oh no, wait. I think we did.
Pull
I think
up the
we
website.
did. Yeah, I think we did put this up. Hold on. I think we did show. Yeah, we did show this on the. Sorry, I'm stupid. We definitely did show this on the last episode. Okay, all right. Well, never mind. Never mind then. It's cool.
Yeah,
It's
crazy
just,
tube
look at the
circuits.
simplicity. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's no tubes in here. Why'd they call it that?
No. There's no stars in there either. Dude, okay. Speaking of stars.
Man, you just blew my mind.
Just wrinkled my brain.
Oh, this is actually, I hear that's good, actually.
Yeah. Speaking of stars.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks to Pedal Genie. You're the stars of this show.
The real stars.
Yeah. For real, though, speaking of stars, I just ordered the Star Eater fuzz from Pigtronics. And partly because it's the greatest name for a pedal there ever was, the Star Eater.
Yeah.
But two, it sounds really good, and I'm really looking forward to it. So that should be here this week. I've been on a bit of a gear tear, and I need to delete the reverb app off my phone because I'm getting into some trouble with myself, But it's fine.
Yeah,
we're fine. Stoked for this fuzz though. I also just picked up the op amp Big Muff, which is plugged in over there. It's the 70s era Big Muff reissue. Made famous by Siamese Dream by the Smashing Pumpkins. It's that tone basically. And what a piece of gear. Really fun.
If it sounds like that record, it probably is the best Big Muff.
It's one of my faves. It's big and muffy. I have the current production NYC Big Muff here. It is different. There's the the Ram's Head, the Triangle, the Civil War. There's all these different Big Muffs, but the op amp just has that
it's got an op amp, right?
Special,
it's that little special.
Yeah,
op amp.
and it's got a switch on it. You can bypass the tone circuit entirely. So it's just fuzz and volume.
Full fat op amp. Yeah.
Yeah, and which sounds better on the baritone, surprisingly. So cool.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. We should do a Big Muff shootout sometime.
Well, speaking of Big Muffs, we have another.
Look at this
another
segue.
news item, or did you forget about that?
A little.
Check this out.
I'm back.
All right. Speaking
That's
of
the
what?
Old Blood Noise Endeavors.
Oh, that's right.
Black Fountain.
I forgot to make you guess. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Black Fountain.
My Old Blood Noise pedal is right here on my desk.
OBNE. That's not an E. What's it called? Black Fountain.
Black Fountain.
Black Fountain. All right. So speaking of Muffy and Big. Ooh. Yep. Sounded better before I said it. The Big Muff Pie hardware plugin. So I don't get it. It's a pedal.
It's a pedal.
But it's a plugin?
But it's a hardware controller for a plugin. And a pedal. And a plugin.
Yeah.
And a pedal.
So, okay, so does it run? All right. I have some question. Does it run without a computer connected to it?
Yes, it is a regular Big Muff.
Works as a pedal.
Works as a pedal. It's a regular Big Muff with 10 presets on board, by the way.
Okay. But then it's also kind of a DAC?
But it's also a stereo USB interface.
Yeah, with a headphone port and everything?
With a headphone port and everything.
And a panic button.
And
tell me about the panic button.
The panic button just resets the USB connection. I don't know why they bothered to put a whole button on there for that. You just unplug it. But
rad.
Okay, so
that's a pretty Electro-Harmonix thing to do, right?
Yeah.
It's
calling it the panic button.
It's like
just reset.
It's like making your pedals cost some sense at the end of their price.
Yeah, $328.90. Yeah, classic.
Yeah. It's
So
just
you buy
solid stuff.
this. You buy this and you get the Big Muff Pi plugin. And it is based on the Ram's Head version of the Big Muff. And
Okay, so they designed a
run-
plug-in for, because it says hardware plug-in. So I thought, is this running on the hardware, or is the plugin native?
I believe the plugin is native, and you use the hardware to
Just
manipulate
as a
it
controller.
instead of as a controller. Like, yes, you could use an automation for that,
Mm-hmm.
but this lets you kind of perform with it.
Okay.
And truly perform with it on stage. Like, if you wanted
Right.
to put this on your pedal board and have a Big Muff, there you go.
Wow, there's a lot of little doodads on this now that I look closely at it.
Yeah. So it has the tone bypass thing on it, and it also has the tone wicker, which adds some extra high-end information. But it's got presets, and
Okay.
like that's, I don't know. Do you need Big Muff presets? I don't think so.
Nope.
But
I think
in
we could
the
say for sure the
plugins-
answer is no. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe like in the studio thing, plugin space, whatever, maybe. But I don't think you need Big Muff presets live. Big Muff is a very a pedal that is very responsive to stuff going into or out of it,
Yeah.
like stacking with other things and whatnot. So I don't know, but like, what is this? You know?
Yeah, and like the headphone output, I guess that's because technically this is an audio interface, right? It's a 2-in, 2-out
Correct.
interface. It doesn't have.
It's got the direct
just for
monitor.
instrument inputs. It's got direct monitoring with a headphone level. So at that point, like if you're plugging your, I guess at that point you're hearing dry guitar until you instantiate the plugin, right? If you use that.
I
I'm
guess
trying
because
to
there's no like
imagine
cabinet
this.
simulation or anything
Right,
like that.
and there's
you know?
no amp, so it's just going to be like,
Yeah.
it would either be dry guitar or it'd be raw Big Muff sound, and I don't think that's right. So really, like, it's acting as an instrument only interface, and you're
Yeah.
connecting headphones to it because that's the best way to get your direct monitoring and everything. But until you put stuff in your DAW and put the plugin in there, it's going to sound like nothing, I think, right? Right?
I think so. Yeah. So I watched the video. There's dude's in the studio. He's demoing how to use it with guitar, bass, keys, drums, and he's got like, you can run it just like any other plugin. So
Yeah.
you can send drums through the Big Muff, right? You can
Sure.
send strings through the Big Muff, whatever.
And I
then
mean,
you
this
can
is
use
probably the only Big Muff that's stereo. Not that
Yeah.
matters a whole hell of a lot, but
yeah, and you know, you can turn the tone knob and stuff as you're performing on the keys, and it turns the knob on the screen and like does all that kind of shit. But
yeah, okay.
like, okay. And that's what I mean, like in the performative thing, like you
Right.
can perform with it in that moment to record it.
When
but-
people are into that, I will say, when people are into that, like, I have to have the physical knobs thing, they're super into that.
Yeah.
I've really managed to avoid it. Like, I don't know, like, not that I would hate the idea of physical controllers. Like when I have them available to me, I use them, but I don't know. Like, I don't get, like, is there really, like, you're not going to be able to get the right Big Muff sound if you don't have the knobs in your hands? People say that about EQs, right? When I'm EQing a vocal, if I can manually sweep it with my fingers instead of with the mouse, it comes out better. It's like, okay, you can sort of see maybe that's true for somebody who grew up on consoles, you know? But, like, this is a
Yeah.
Big Muff, dude. Like, you are not EQing a vocal, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
If you're trying to get the sustain knob just right, that I want just the right amount of sizzle for my Smashing Pumpkins cover, it is not because I didn't have my fingers on a physical knob that prevented me from getting there, right?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. And you can use any sort of automation control in your DAW to perform it for you. Like that's the
Yeah.
thing. If you're not really, I don't know, somebody's going to be a cork sniffer about that for sure. But whatever. I don't know. So this had me thinking, I heard on another guitar podcast a few weeks ago, things like the neural plugins, right? They're getting into like
yeah.
this artist specific plugins or these amp packs and things like that. And they're really, really good. Really good. And how long before we start seeing pedal plugins? Is there like the conversation was like, wouldn't it be great if there was a sort of universal format that you could make like the EHX pack, right? For all these different Big Muff plugins, and you could run those in your DAW into one of the amp plugins that is made by Neural or made by, it's like Helix Native or something like that. Then this comes out, which is not that, but it had me thinking like, oh, we're a little closer to something kind of interesting.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this?
I find this to be wildly uninteresting. I can't figure out what the.
Now,
I feel
is that
like this
the
is
hardware thing?
I feel like this is a rubber stamp product. No, like I have no trouble with somebody making a plug-in version. I think what really happened here is they made a plug-in of the Big Muff, and that by itself doesn't matter. Right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's not because like what I mean, it doesn't matter. There's like a bunch of fuzzes, and this is not the sort of thing that is it's really important for it to be a plugin, but I think it's kind of necessary at this point for everything to be a plugin. Just because like you just have to be there. It's one of the places you have to be. It's like you have to be on all the music stores, right? Like if you're releasing your music, you have to be on Spotify and Apple and everything. It's like at this point, you know, there's the pedal crowd. There's some people who are never going to touch pedals and they're just going to work in their DAW. You've got to be there. So they make a Big Muff plugin, but in order to differentiate, they just were like, oh, well, what if this is just in an interface? Because this is, in my opinion, this looks like a rubber stamped 2x2 interface. It's probably like basic Chinese tech. Like you can just call up somebody in China and they will be like, can you spit me out this is your 2-channel interface. We don't need we don't need a mic preamp. We just need 2 high Z inputs. Thank you. But make the box look like this. I guess it's got the preset knob and a couple of other things. I don't know. I'm weirded out by it. I don't get it. I don't get what
it's got stuff. So I don't know a lot about plugins, but they demonstrate this thing where they call it like recall slots, where you can compare tones. You can very quickly A/B between 2 presets.
So that
seems like something that
that's extremely typical for plugins. Like all the good plugins are going to have some way to A/B presets. Yeah, these days.
Good. I think
in the
maybe
last
they're
5
demonstrating.
years,
Maybe they're demonstrating that just for the purposes of like your guitar pedal now has recall slots.
Well, I think guitar. Well, I whatever. I was about to sort of like localize it to guitar. Almost anything. It's good to be able to A/B things. That's good functionality to have in anything. But guitar, I'll use it all the time, right? I'll basically set up. I mean, so here's a classic example. Like an amp sim, I will usually like find the thing that sounds immediately the best to me, tweak the EQ a little bit, and then like assign to A. Okay, now let's go find a different cabinet. Now, when I find the second best cabinet, I'm going to want to adjust the EQ. So then I adjust the EQ. When I'm done adjusting to this second cabinet, that's B. And now let's flip back. Like now, did I actually beat it? It's kind of like that.
Right.
I mean, that makes sense here. Yeah, I guess there's not the variables for that though. So I don't know. You're at this point you're mixing with other plugins, right? Because it's not like we found the best. I don't think I need more than one A/B thing on a Big Muff. What I need is my whole guitar chain to be like, okay, now through this amp, my Big Muff needs to have the tone here, and through this other amp, which I might choose, the Big Muff needs to have the tone in a different spot. I sort of need it combined with different things before the presets become useful, or the A/B-ing of them at least. So I don't know.
Right.
Presets are obviously useful on their own, but the A/B features and stuff like that.
Like I said, I don't know enough about plugins, and they demoed it like, look what we can do, and like that seems like something that should be a standard.
Yeah,
it sounds like it is. So
it is. Yeah. So to me, it reads like they made a plugin version, but then it's like, how can we go above and beyond and make something really wild? Well, here's something that doesn't exist. I don't think this exists. And I think it's very close to 1,000 things that already exist with a few slight tweaks, and it's slammed inside of a pedal, which is weird. But I
was going to say, if you're in the market for a Big Muff, you're not buying this. Go buy a Big Muff for $40. right? This is
Right.
$330.
Right, one of the cheapest pedals ever, right? That's tough.
Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of it from that angle. $330 for and definitely like a plug-in should cost $30. A plug-in version of this should. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I got my Big Muff used for 50. I think new they're under 100, right? They're like 80 or 90. Just I don't know. You don't buy this because you need a Big Muff on your pedal board. That's not who it's for. And that's not who they're trying to sell it to either. So
right. So the person they would sell it to, because it's a interface, is a person who doesn't have an interface yet. So that's
the other thing is
it's like somebody just starting, like, I'm going to start working on my music at home. I'm going to grab this for my guitar interface. I guess as a guitar interface, maybe it's not that bad, but like,
well,
I don't know.
I mean, this Focusrite thing was not $330.
Nope. That's fucking true, isn't it? Jesus.
That plus 2 Big Muffs that I own was not $330.
We are torpedoing this thing. This is awful.
So I don't know. It's okay. Here's my other take on this.
Yeah.
For that price, they should include every version of the Big Muff that has ever been made, not just the Ram's Head.
Oh yeah, is that
like throw in?
Did I fail to listen when you said it's only the Ram's Head?
It's only the Ram's Head. So like throw in the current NYC one, op amp, triangle, the Ram's Head, of course. The Civil War, like all that shit. Throw those in there.
Oh,
because like why not?
What the fuck are the presets for? It doesn't.
It's for all these different knob combinations.
No. Hey, here's this. Okay, update. Here's a secret. Actually, every single DAW can do presets on any plugin, regardless of whether that plugin has presets.
Justin.
This is so fucking stupid. Why did they?
Eric points out,
and then they advertised it. Ours has presets. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Ours has
here's
presets
another.
For three fucking knobs.
I got another one.
Okay,
$330. You're like within. Like an HX Stomp is on the horizon, right? You're a few $100 away from a used HX Stomp, which has every fucking Big Muff in it. It is a stereo,
but does it have
audio
presets?
Interface. You bet your ass it does.
Oh fuck! Oh my god!
And so Eric pointed out in the chat, go buy a Muffaletta. Muffaletta is JHS's like multi Big Muff thing. It's got what, 6 Big Muffs in it?
But I bet it's not an audio interface, you chump.
It's not, but it's also not $330.
Wait, are you sure? I thought you said it was a JHS pedal.
Ooh,
isn't that their base price?
I think it's $229. I don't know. I almost bought one. Didn't. Got the op amp one for $60 instead.
Got a whole fucking guitar instead. Jesus Christ!
Got a whole
JHS.
fucking baritone. Anyway. This was
JHS is over in the corner like, we had nothing to do with this. Please stop hating on me. I honestly don't think we deserve it. Fucking A.
The Big Muff Pi hardware plugin. I don't know.
I'm going to get this off my screen. No, it sucks.
What did it say? True analog distortion, something, whatever.
All right, hold on. Bringing it back. True analog distortion plugged directly into your digital audio workstation. You mean like every fucking thing you plug into your audio workstation? Good Lord. I don't think the people who made Big Muff know what distortion means, because they just misused it in that sentence, or they're acting like they, oh God. Is this what they think? Do they think like people are going to be like, oh man, what if we had analog distortion to record into our digital audio workstations? God, 2022 and we're just fucking figuring this out. Big Muff, where were you my whole life?
Where were you since 1972 or whatever shit? Oh God.
God. Before that, don't you remember the color box and that whole thing? Like, remember the Beatles used to plug their shit right into that EMI board and it sounded horrible, but don't tell anybody. Oh, that's cool.
This is why I sticker bombed my Big Muff because they're.
I was gonna say I recognize some of those symbols.
Yeah, no, I bought a bunch of black and white stickers and I fucking just covered it in everything because you can buy a Big Muff for like 12 cents, so you may as well. It's covered in dog hair on the bottom.
For
So
40, you can buy it and recap the whole thing. Actually, there's probably only one capacitor in there.
honestly, a kind of fun project I would love to do someday would be to buy a new Big Muff in the large case like this and make it a pedal board. Like put a bunch of stuff on it.
A bunch of those little what was that pedal company that the witch something?
Oh, Red Witch?
Red Witch, yeah, a bunch of their little tiny little guys.
Here's the fat guy little coat. It could fit in here. Here's a reverb pedal. It could fit in here.
You know,
right? Like just
are you putting
all
them
kinds
inside?
of little things.
You gonna mill out the case?
The cover.
Okay.
No, cover it in Velcro.
I'm with you. Okay, no, I like this. You got that space.
Yeah.
You can fit like 3 mini pedals on there. Okay, and we'll wire them.
And they make them
solder them in. And here's the thing: open up the case because you know you got room inside too. Let's take apart your Focusrite Scarlett. Stick with me. We put that shit inside the Big Muff. We call up Electro-Harmonix.
We call up EHX and we're like, listen up.
We're like, guess what? You nerds are already behind again. Because mine has a pedal board on top of it and it's an interface and it has no panic button. There's no panicking.
No, you just unplug it and plug it back in. That's all you need to do.
Like everybody else in the history of USB.
Like every other piece of tech there ever has been.
Oh,
hey guys.
God. So Matt thinks this should be a segment. We should just do gear takedowns.
Gear takedowns? Oh.
See, that's a good idea. It's going to end up, I tell you right now, it's going to end up like so many of our other segments. It's a good idea whenever it happens to come up. But if we try to force it, like make it an every other week thing even, it's
every other week thing, so every episode of the show.
Fuck you. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, 'cause gear takedowns, how often do I feel this way about something? I mean, it's
here's the thing, like
it's happened before.
Of course it has.
Yeah.
Gibson has entered the chat. But the thing
have they made any videos lately, by the way?
Did they? I don't know.
Go on with your
Slash
point.
probably. What was my point? Crap.
Oh man.
The thing that made this gear takedown so great is that it happened organically. I did not put this in the show notes to piss off Justin. I was like, what is this thing?
I wasn't pissed when I opened this tab up.
Yeah.
It was actually, I think I was a little bewildered and thought, well, whatever. I mean, a giant company like that, they can afford to just make a thing and then sell like 10 of them and then can it, right? They don't care. And until I learned that they didn't even put multiple versions of the Big Muff in it. And they had
pedal famed for so many versions.
How many man hours did it take to work out the preset function and the knob and work out that part of the design into this thing and show the factory demo and then make revisions and then put the thing into production for the preset function? Which there's the hardware version. I mean, of course, there's the plugin version. Every plugin has presets. That's not a thing you should talk about like it's a feature. But anyway, somebody did that though to the hardware. They made the little red square there. Let's have a little zoom in. Oh, I'm not showing it anymore. I forgot I took this piece of shit off my screen already. This thing right here, the red square with a preset. Somebody worked on that, and not for like an hour, I bet. And that's stupid.
I'm still here about the whole stereo Big Muff thing for a second.
Do you think if you plug mono into it, can you get stereo out of it? Because that's actually new. I bet it doesn't do that.
I bet it doesn't.
I bet the stereo out is just for like your speakers, right? And then if you
plug stereo in, like stereo keys or something. But
yeah, I know. But like if it's just a guitar, I bet both channels sound the same. I bet it sounds like mono. It's not creating stereo. It's not.
No.
Multing you and like, how would it sound different anyway? It's just a.
Unless you could run both presets on.
Is there a hardware Big Muff in here, or is it digitizing your signal at the point?
I actually don't know the answer to that. That's a good question.
Oh man, wait. There's a manual here. Hold on.
I think we should just kick this.
I don't know. What if I can find a block diagram? It keeps saying this. It keeps saying hardware plugin. Those are two separate things. Those are two separate things. Even UAD,
welcome to
which
our
literally has plugins running on hardware, doesn't say hardware plugin.
Welcome to our hardware software. Our soft hardware.
Analog in, and then this just the Ram's head logo, this mystery box right here, and then
the Pi logo. Yeah.
That's happening before input gain. Do you see that? What is that? Why is that before input gain? And then analog out. There's a couple of little switches in there for no reason. It looks like they're saying the DAC is after that. But I don't believe that, because this is like the cartoon version of a block diagram.
Yeah. It's like a Visio diagram.
We're scanning quickly. I just want to see like if there's anything real here. They're not gonna, nope. There's presets. Now we're looking how to use our preset menu.
Ooh, MIDI. Great. Because that's what the world needs, a fucking
range chart. Oh my God.
You need a fucking MIDI Big Muff.
No, you don't get it.
The concept of a MIDI controlled big.
You don't get it, Derek. See,
MIDI
in the chorus, I actually need the saturation knob to be like 10% lower. So I'm going to trigger that to follow my MIDI. So when I change my delay for the chorus, it's all right.
I love this.
Terrible gift just happened to us. Thank you, Derek. All right, so we're gonna bring something back around here. We were over an hour, by the way, before we got to the end of that ridiculous news item. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Coppersound has new stuff, idiots. Get with it.
Coming. Not yet.
Isn't that what I said?
That newsletter.
No, I stopped reading too fast. I put the insult too early in the sentence.
Yeah, dude. So I texted Alex the other day, like, when can we find out what it is? And he said, soon. That's all he said.
Nice. Soon, TM. Yeah.
But he said, want to do a podcast about it? And I said, definitely. And he said, wicked. So, get on that Coppersound newsletter, you chumps.
All right.
End of show.
You dinks. He actually wrote the insult into the thing for me. I didn't even have to add it myself. I didn't read far enough into the sentence in the show notes to realize.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys.
Oh, do you have a suggestion of the week?
Yeah, you know what? I am going to throw you a suggestion of the week. Do you have something ready?
No, you go.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do. And this is I'm probably going to hear that everybody fucking knows about this already. But like last week, I discovered Charles. Yeah, well, fucking of course it is. I mean, I knew when I pulled this out of my butt that I was like,
dude's so great.
Everybody's going to be like, oh, I know that guy. So Charles Cornell's YouTube channel, here it is. And this just randomly came up in my feed. It was actually the music, the analysis of the Doom Eternal soundtrack that popped up. This was just this on Saturday. Because Saturday morning, my daughter and I, we watch YouTube while we're eating breakfast. It's like become a tradition. And I was like, well, here's something that isn't not appropriate for my daughter, because there's a lot of shit in my YouTube feed that doesn't go over very well. But anyway, yeah, like just analyzing the music and stuff. You see right here, the other one that I was watching is the Super Mario Brothers theme. And it's fun. Like they don't take a super long time. I mean, most of this stuff is under 20 minutes, under 15, some of them.
15, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm clicking on them now, like even if it's not something where, oh yeah, I want to know the analysis of that, because I know he's going to make it fun. So
he does a great job, yeah.
And explaining things simply, like we're talking about the Doom Eternal one, because that happens to be the first one I watched, like just going over like the dotted eighth pulse and why it is the way, why it is the way it is, and stuff like that. And not a, I don't know, doesn't go too far with it, but clearly like he has the chops and everything to go too far with it.
Yeah, he goes like really deep, really deep. If you like, it's there, all the theory stuff and like what makes it so interesting.
Yeah.
He's also got this awesome thing on screen now that shows in real time the keys he's hitting on piano.
Yeah.
Like, did that video have that? It's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's got to be like a plugin. Like he's using like a plugin it's a hardware plugin. His piano has something right where it's connected to his computer, so he's getting like a computer readout of the keys as well, which are oriented correctly to the viewer, even though we're looking at him. So it's sort of mirrored, but yeah, cool.
Couple of recommendations. That Britney Spears video right there that's on screen, Why Everybody Loves Toxic by Britney Spears. Big recommendation on that one. That's great. And then he's done some others where it's like jazz musician reacts to blah, blah, blah. The episode about the Hey Arnold soundtrack, that old Nickelodeon cartoon, is great.
Awesome.
It is so good. I loved Hey Arnold when I was a kid.
Fantastic.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Charles Cornell.
All right, check out Charles Cornell. Everybody in this Discord will like it.
My recommendation, my thing of the week, is actually kind of an older thing now, but I remembered enjoying it so much. It's a video game called A Way Out. And it is
I've heard of this.
Yeah, it's a co-op game that you can play either couch co-op or remote co-op, but it does split screen couch co-op style even if you're remote.
Oh,
so you can see the other player's screen. And yeah, here we go. So it's a prison break game. It's not terribly long.
Yeah.
Maybe 10 hours or so. I don't want to give anything away about the story, but these guys got to break out of prison and stuff. And you have to watch each other's screens in order to time things correctly and like sneak around corners and shit like that. And it's just outstandingly well done. Eric and I were going to try to play this. I played it with a friend already. It's really fun. It's very clever. It's a really great example of a new kind of, not style of game, but like to do the split screen co-op remotely is rad. And it causes like a whole bunch of like unique puzzle solving opportunities. And then when you're both on screen together, it wipes away the split and you're on
okay, so it's
one
wise
screen.
About that. Yeah, all right,
yeah.
great.
And then sometimes depending on who's like the lead in a scene, it will go like 60-40 or like,
okay.
Like 3/4
like
one character, 1/4 the other.
Sometimes and horizontal some other times when you need the turning range versus the vertical range.
Right. It's very clever. Totally would recommend. It's pretty cheap. It's often on sale a lot of places. It looks like $7.50.
It looks like it's $7.50 right now. I know it's on Steam as well. Origin they have a cross-platform thing going on?
Yeah, it's on. I don't know if it's cross-platform. I played it on PS4 back in the day, and maybe it is cross-platform because that would be rad. We should play it.
They do it sometimes, and in fact, EA published this, and they did Star Wars Squadrons, which was cross-platform, PC, PlayStation, Xbox, the whole deal. So it can be done. And they'll sell it to you as a friend pass, right? So you can buy a pair of licenses.
Yes, and actually, if you're on console, if one player owns it, that's all you need. So like you don't both need to own the title, which is very cool. I just saw something
up at the top about Discover Friends Pass. I gotta stop clicking on this site because it keeps lagging my computer, but
maybe that's what it is, but like I got it, I think it was like a PlayStation Plus game 1 month and I grabbed it. And a friend of mine also had it, but I learned afterwards that you don't both need to own it. So it's a cool grab.
Yeah.
Good storytelling.
They
it's all
just
the good
need to
stuff you want in
download
a
the
video
demo
game.
version of the game.
Perfect. But it's like $8, so
yeah. Anyway, the point.
I think it's certainly worth the $7.50.
They're marketing it like a demo, right? So if you have the game, you love it, you're going to show it to your friend because you're going to play together, and then they're going to go buy their own license anyway. So of course they're going to be like, well, sure, you can play. Why not?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So yeah, it's called A Way Out.
A Way Out. All right. Well, that's about
Eric, you know what? Here's the thing. I'm going to play that on paternity leave. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah. That's when I'll have time. He said, knowing he wouldn't have any time at all. So, should we get out of here?
We should. So, we're over that hour mark because that's what we do when we have no notes. So, well, everybody, thanks for listening to the Tone Control podcast. You'll never get that hour and 15 minutes back. And
sucks for you.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed yourself a little bit at least, and I hope at least one or two times you sort of laughed a little, maybe even. That would be fun. That would make me happy. So you should find our Discord. If you like the show, then you probably like our Discord channel, which is at discord.io/tonecontrol. And if you want to support the show, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/thetonecontrol. It's a good thing to do. It's a good thing to do, support the show. The people who do that for as little as $1 a month get thanked in the show, and anything above that gets special privileges, including being able to join us live in the live chat and listen to the show live. And there are a bunch of different tiers there where you can get early access to episodes, extra content like random videos that we make behind the scenes, which is not very many right now, and all the demo files from Derek's live streams to play around with. And we're doing special hangouts. We're going to do our first one.
Oh, yeah.
Coming right up here. Yeah, we should say when that's going to be.
It's going to be Thursday of this week, the 15th. So if you're listening tonight, that means you can come hang out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's going to be like. We sort of theorized that maybe sometimes we'd play games together. Maybe we would just hang out and chat. I think at the very least, it'll be like hanging out here right now, except everybody's mic's open. And I'm kind of thinking I will record it, and it's not going to be like an episode, but I think we'll post them. We'll post the recordings of them as long as everybody's okay with it. I guess I don't know why they wouldn't be, but I didn't ask yet. It just dawns on me. As long as everybody's okay with it, I guess I should ask that, maybe Jackbox games. Those would be fun.
Those are fun.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
So we'll think of something cool to do. It'll be a hangout, and we'll record it, and that'll probably go like to the Patreon exclusive feed, right? It's not going to be in the regular podcast feed. It's going to become one of those extra videos. So if you can't come on time, and we will continue to ask about each month what dates work best for everybody. We didn't get a lot of a response this time, so we
did kind of slap it together. But we can get on planning for October a lot easier. So more in advance.
So by the time this episode comes out, that first hangout will have already happened. So anyway, but you've been alerted to it if you're in the Patreon tiers. So anyway, all that's left is to thank our patrons, which include today Nick Greenwood, Carson Ricketts, Matthew Fenslaw, Ryzen Wolf, Jamie Evans, Jeffrey Wright, Doug King, Big Daddy Doug, Righteous Ryan Johnson, Steve Huffman, Jonas Sabatini, Phil Keitherson, Brian Gower of the Tone Jerks podcast, Matt at Mako Guitars. Sorry, I'm stumbling now because I couldn't decide what I wanted to call him. Andrew Walsh of Andrew's Alcove, Doug Christ of 37 Effects, and Sean Wright of Lollygagger Effects. Thank you all ever so much. And Matt, it's because everybody else has the like so-and-so of so-and-so, that's what I'm saying. Anyway. All right, that's it. Better luck next time.
We'll try again next time.
Yeah,
everybody.
all right.
Keep listening. Maybe we'll get it one of these times. Okay, bye.
Bye.